Everybody's looking for love, but can these two hopeful singles find love at first sight? Let's meet them.
I'm just trying to get myself out there. I've been alone a long time, and I think the stall might have room for two.
He seems like a nice guy. He's a ghost? Oh, that doesn't bother me. I actually just got my ghost badge.
We have dinner at 7, so I hope it goes well.
A school cafeteria isn't my ideal place for a first date, but I'm willing to give this a chance.
We've been here a while.
Oh, here comes our waiter.
One of my secret obsessions is anime cafes, and these are little pop-up establishments that will be themed to a particular series, and they carry themed food, merch, and decor. I would love to go to like any anime cafe. Preferably it would be one for a thing that I actually like. But if I were in Japan and all they had was a cafe for like horse girls, oh wait, that's actually a thing. Broom Girls 8, then I would go to the Broom Girls 8 cafe and I would have a grand old time. But, and in general, I love themed things, but what's most interesting to me is like the breadth of the creativity that's applied to these themed things. So like with the food can be something very elaborate, like to me, one of the most impressive menu items is the Edward Elric stew, where they like braided the bread to look like his hair, and then the stew was red like his coat. I thought that was really clever. There's also the Pride ink pasta and drink, which is what will be served at my wedding. Or it can be something as simple as an $8 drink that is bright blue and has a piece of paper with the character on it. But of course I can't have access to this beautiful overpriced anime food. I also hear the food isn't even good. It's really just there for show. But what I can get access to is the anime merch. So I have 3 Full Metal Alchemist cafe placemats, and what I decided to do is use this cafe merch as wall art. And as decor items, I really like them. They have a limited color palette, which I think helps keep the walls looking kind of sophisticated and simple. And there's also like the story to it is saying that, oh, these are from the cafe. So while I never saw myself being interested in cafe paper goods, this is sort of what planted the seed in my mind. And where we're headed for next is Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I have not had the opportunity to talk about it yet on this channel, which is very surprising to me. But Toilet Bound Hanako-kun is one of my greatest passions at the moment. I really like the series, I like it aesthetically, I like the story, and I like the characters a lot. Hanako and Nene are my 2 favorite characters from the series, and when a character has a lot of merch, I actually feel much more selective with it, and I'm less likely to buy it. So there are a lot of really, really cute keychains for Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. There's also a lot of exclusive cafe keychains that are like $90. And I'm not particularly interested in collecting those. I mean, if I were in a store and I saw one in front of me, I would probably buy it. But regarding online shopping and hunting, I didn't have as strong of an urge to collect Hanako-kun merch. So it seemed like I was off the hook. But what grabbed me, what stole my heart, was these paper coasters. And what first grabbed my eye is that I saw ones with art that I had never seen before. And since I already had the Full Metal stuff on my wall and really liked how it looked, I thought it would be a cool idea to get some Hanako-kun coasters and add those to my wall.
Yeah, me and Amane go way back. Hanako isn't his real name. Did he tell you that? He's my twin brother, but we haven't seen each other in a while. Probably 20 years, so yeah, this is a big surprise for us both.
It's reality TV. And I don't know what would have really happened, but I do know that's his real estranged brother.
Do you want to know how I became a ghost?
So let's look at my coaster collection. The ones that caught my attention right away were the ones of Amane and Tsukasa as children. I love the colors in these, especially the fireworks one. And the one of them watching TV together is really cute too. It also has some implications since they're watching Frankenstein. There's also some really cute chibi-esque ones of the trio together. I really like Hananene as a ship, and because of that, I don't focus much on Ko. I don't have a lot of personal friends who are into this series, so I just tell one of my friends about what's happening in it, and I never mention Ko to her, so I was happy to get something that has some co-representation. All of the other coasters are illustrations that are from the covers of the manga. And one thing I really love about these coasters is how beautifully they're printed. I was a photography concentration student in college, and even though I prefer digital photography and publishing things digitally, it did give me an appreciation for beautiful printing, and I love the colors on these. They're so bright and just really beautiful. I think them being such beautiful quality also adds to my pride as a collector, because I could have just printed these out from the computer, but they have lovely print quality, and I think they have value too, even if just to me as official cafe limited items. So with all of my coasters together came the issue of how to display them. So I have this really long white picture frame that I was initially planning to put them in, but I found that the frame was really wide and there would be a lot of extra space around the coasters. And also, as I got more coasters, I wanted to display more coasters. An aesthetic that I have become very fond of is maximalism, which is fitting as many things as you can into a space. I admire people who are able to really cram stuff in there and make it look orderly and artistic. I wouldn't say I'm full maximalist in that sense, but in general, having spaces that are very full is kind of comforting to me. I love Baroque and Rococo styles where they're just very populated images. I think that comes across in my photography as well. So my original place for the coasters was actually going to be this space right behind me, but I ended up moving my embroidery hoops there. So the embroidery hoops used to be hanging up near my bed, but the space felt a little bit empty, which is why I decided to move them here next to the display case, and I have some flowers, and to me the space just feels nice and full. But what that meant was that now I was going to need to put the coasters on a different wall, which I had not planned for before. And it was at this point that I definitely decided to not use the long frame. But I am really passionate about those frames that just look so overdone and heavy. And I really wanted to have that style for my coasters. I also decided that I wanted the frames to be gold, because gold is one of the colors in my room, and I didn't want everything to be too matchy-matchy with the black and white frames. And I am devoting a lot of time to talking about my frame decisions, because this took me a really long time to decide on. I eventually decided that 4-inch frames were my best bet. The coasters are 3.5 inches all around, so I would have to fill in some space, but this is a project for my bedroom and it's supposed to be relaxing, so I went with the 4-inch square frames. Unfortunately though, I was not able to find any that were the elaborately decorated aesthetic I wanted, and this is where I had to get creative. I ended up going to the dollhouse section, where they have tiny little wood cutouts for decorating your tiny little wood projects. And I got a bunch of those that I could decorate the frames with. I had considered using clay and sculpting my own designs, but that's not my strength. I really like to lay down appliques and pieces, so I think this was my best bet. I was also not able to find anything in gold like I wanted, so I grabbed myself some gold spray paint, and the crafting began.
Dinner had a rough start, but afterwards we went for a walk around the school, and I think we really hit it off.
He told me he wants to be an astronaut and I actually travel for a living, so we definitely have a lot in common. Our whole date has been at this creepy school though. I'm going to ask him to get dessert with me down the street.
So we have the wood floral appliques, and we also have these little corner pieces. I decided to cover the frames as much as possible with the appliques, and I did floral with floral and corner with corner. So I managed to get 2 floral frames and 2 corner frames. And although initially I wished that they had all been floral frames, I think it was good to have some variation, and even though we're going for maximalism, it is good to cool it down just a little bit wherever you can. And I really like that this kind of encroaches on the glass area of the frame. I glued down all of the frames with my favorite heavy-duty glue E6000. And once everything was secured, I went to spray paint it. So with the spray painting, that is where I made a small error. I glued everything down, then took it to spray paint. But what I should have done was spray painted the frames, then put the appliques on, and then spray painted that. Because I had some trouble filling in the paint in the places that to look at my vast collection of coasters and decide which ones I wanted to use. My only prerequisites were that there be a Hananene one. I also really liked the Tsukasa and Amane one, so I was hoping to fit one of those on there as well. But otherwise it was really fair game in just picking things that looked good together. And I especially love the bright colors on all of these. But in the spirit of keeping my wall decor subdued, I decided to go with coasters that all had a black background. With the winning coasters being Hanako and Ko, Hananene, Hanako and Akane, and Tsukasa and Amane with the fireworks. I was very happy to be able to fit that one in because that one is one of my favorites. To secure the pictures into the frames, I made some little corners out of paper. I used archival sketch paper, so hopefully it won't hurt the quality, and I also used some acid-free tape to just kind of stick those in there. If you look closely, you can see that there is some slight gapping, but as much as I want to be a perfectionist, I am really the only one who comes into my room and sees these anyway, so I can deal with that. Then came the final step, which was hanging them on the wall. So I put these on the wall next to my homunculus picture, which sits above my desk so that I can look at it and feel encouraged. And don't look too closely because they're definitely not perfectly lined up, but like I said, I'm the only one who's looking at these. So for a quick project, I really love how these came out. It fills in the space just like I wanted it to, And now I'm able to have more series representation on my walls because for a while it was just Full Metal. I think I'm finally done putting stuff on my walls too. It has the classy, sophisticated look I was going for. And also, if I ever get tired of the ones that I have up there, I can swap them out with something else from my enormous coaster collection. So thank you for watching. I like doing little crafty projects like this, and I'm really glad that the wood appliques on the frames worked out. That's something that I would also like to do on my mirror. If you'd like, you can follow me on social media where I post videos when I'm working on them and what I'm hoping to start videoing next. So I'll see you again some other time.
What do you mean you can't leave?
So yeah, part of being a ghost is you're bound to a place, and for me that's the school. I knew it might be a deal breaker, but I was hoping it would come up later.
I just don't see how it'll work. I mean, I'm traveling the Sinnoh region and he's stuck here at the school. I need someone who can be by my side, so I think this is our last date.
It's probably better if I focus on my career anyway. Who's gonna haunt the last stall of the girls' bathroom if not me? I mean, that's not something anyone can do.